Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us at the Game Changers Coalition UN 2.0 side event. We're very excited to have you with us. Thank you so much for coming. Just to note that this is a recorded session, and by participating, you are consenting to the recorded session. I will launch a quick as we're waiting for participants to join in, and we will take a few minutes just to welcome everyone in. So the poll will pop up on your screen. Great. I hope this worked. I see some responses coming in. Thank you so much for playing. I'm going to launch just one more poll as we're waiting for everyone to join in. And this is a bit of a quiz. Wow, look at that. Most people are getting it right. Yes, the video games industry is larger and growing. So I'm going to hand it over to Bo, and our event will start. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy it.
Welcome, players. In this game, the world is fractured by inequality, digital exclusion, and lost potential. Your mission, unlock knowledge and resources and build the Game Changers Coalition to equip the next generation, especially adolescent girls, with the tools to rewrite the rules through creativity and tech. I would like to introduce our hero for today, Nazim, on her quest to build her own universe and empower young people just like her through STEAM education and digital skills.
Hello, my name is Nazım. I'm from Kazakhstan. I'm a junior researcher at Game Development and Research Laboratory Game Lab in Kazakh British Technical University, and also a game developer at Umay Gaming, currently working on a 2D pixel adventure game based on Turkish and Kazakh myths. And my passion is finding the connections between new technologies and the history and culture of my country. And my goal is to create an amazing video game to showcase our traditions to new generations of Kazakh young people, and at the same time empower other girls and boys like me and even younger school students to become creators and producers of their own digital universes. But first, I need allies. Follow me in my quest to empower young people with digital skills around the world.
Hello, my dear. Thank you for joining us. I'm Umayma from UNICEF. What brings you here?
Hello, Maima. I'm Nazım, and I'm looking for knowledge and allies to help young people build their digital skills. Can you help me with that?
Yes, you've come to the right place. My dream is to build a Game Changers Coalition with heroes like you, because the digital skills gap that are in the world today are unacceptable. Did you know that girls and women miss out on $15 billion in economic opportunities because of the gender digital skills gap, in low and middle countries in particular? This is why we have come up with the idea of Game Changers Coalition. We started a few years ago introducing a new concept. Instead of regular STEAM or coding classes, we used video games creation as a vehicle to teach digital skills. The new UNICEF STEAM curriculum encourages young people to tell stories, create characters, and build their own video games. We help develop young people's skills, including digital literacy, logical thinking, as well as confidence, teamwork, and time management. That is necessary to succeed in any tech job. We work with teachers, schools, and governments in 8 countries so far to bring a new type of digital education that is engaging, motivational, and creative to the youth of those countries. We have also built an online course based on the UNICEF STEAM curriculum so that girls and boys and children all over the world can learn these same skills from their home. By completing this online course, young people will be able to create their own video games, tell their own stories through a digital medium, and join a generation that is not just consuming digital content, but also creatively producing it and actively shaping their own digital world. We do that so that they have the confidence to pursue more education and careers in STEAM fields and contribute to a more sustainable, inclusive, and safer digital future. But to truly reach out our goal and empower more than 1 million young people with new digital skills by the end of 2025, we need more partners. Nazim, it's time to unlock allies living far away. This will be your next mission. 4 islands hold up powerful knowledge. Choose wisely, as each one offers a unique strength. Speak with their representative to unite everyone for the same cause. And good luck, Nazim.
All right. Thanks, Umayma. And let's unlock the first ally. Hello, is anyone here?
Hello, Nazim. My name is Raphael, and I'm the Diversity and Inclusion Director at Ubisoft.
Hi, Raphael. I've been looking for allies in my quest to empower young people with digital skills, and I need partners who believe in unlocking potential for everyone. And I have questions for you. How can we create more opportunities for everyone, especially focusing on those who are underrepresented in the video game and tech industry?
Thank you, Nazim, for the question. It's true that I would say that there are 3 ways in which we can work to create more opportunities for everyone. And first, it begins with access. In order to have a more level playing field, you need to work with schools. You will need to work with community spaces to start early with young learners and build their digital skills. That means partnering with a lot of different stakeholders to deliver hands-on learning experiences for everyone. And if I want to give you a couple of examples, at Ubisoft, we collaborate with schools and universities in the countries we operate to nurture future talents. We have a program called Play to Learn, where it's free educational games designed to inspire and teach digital skills. In Canada, we work with a nonprofit called Digital Moment, working with underrepresented communities, especially girls, to give them access to digital skills. And we also work in a number of locations like India, like France, with universities, with nonprofits to offer, again, access to digital skills in game level design, in programming, and we have a number of scholarships. The second thing that's extremely important in your quest, Nazim, to open access and to really empower young learners to access the video game industry is mentoring, because role modeling is super important. When young people see someone who looks like them, who is thriving in the video game industry, it changes what you think is possible. And when you have mentoring, it doesn't just promote skills, as you can imagine, but it builds your confidence, it builds your network, and it provides a sense of belonging. And again, at Ubisoft, if I can give you a couple of examples, we have a program called Develop, which is aiming at providing some mentoring on game level design and programming. But we also work with NGOs who have developed their own programs in France, in Canada, and across the world. And the last thing, which is extremely important, is really with the games themselves. As industry leaders, all of us in the video game industry need to develop stories and content with inclusion in mind and representative characters and stories so that we reflect the diversity of the world we live in. So really by using these platforms, we're going to amplify voices like those of girls that are often unheard.
Thanks for your insights, Rafael. And I also want to know, how do you believe Game Changers Coalition can help us achieve that goal?
Well, from what I'm hearing, you're on the right track. What's really great about the Game Changers Coalition is that it's all indeed about collaboration. And no organization can do this work alone. So to truly unlock potential, we must be intentional, we must be inclusive, and we must be bold and keep building bridges between different spaces, industry leaders, communities, schools, and generations. And so the coalition, given that it's working with video game industry leaders and through UNICEF, is working on the curriculum for girls. So checking that the curriculum for digital skills is the right one. I've also heard that there's some very exciting plans for providing mentoring opportunities. So thanks to the fact that we are working with industry leaders, we can get access to many mentors from the video game industry. And last but not least, given that UNICEF has a fantastic footprint all across the world, working with education associations, the work of the Game Changers Coalition will be facilitated. So definitely on the right track.
Okay. Thank you, Rafael. Your insight will serve as powerful knowledge for my quest, and I'll carry it forward as I journey onward. And I must go. New LA's await.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, welcome, Nazim. My name is Antara Lahiri, and I lead up the Micron Foundation's work in Asia and Europe. How can I help you today?
It's nice to meet you, Antara. I've heard about your foundation's work and I want to know more. Can you tell me about it? I want us to join forces with Game Changers Coalition and accelerate young people's digital empowerment. And what do you think?
Oh, that sounds very exciting. We are very excited to collaborate with the Game Changers Coalition to establish pathways for STEM and digital empowerment for youth. So, Micron Foundation is dedicated to creating equitable opportunities for STEM education for young people to thrive in the digital age and to create lasting social impact. And we think this focus on STEM skills is essential for future careers, where the building blocks of STEM education, such as critical thinking, problem solving, and digital literacy, are fundamental to success. And I think that government, civil society, companies, and international organizations like the UN all play crucial roles in ensuring that both the people and the planet prosper. We at the Micron Foundation are focused on creating shared value by working with our partners, stakeholders to enable STEM education and building AI skills for all. So we have worked at a couple of levels. So at the K-12 school level, our STEM initiatives are focused on delivering hands-on experiential learning. And we do this with the objective of cultivating students' curiosity and establishing pathways to careers for the future. For older students in tertiary training, we do support them to access other kinds of training resources, including employability skills and 21st century competencies, to ensure that we are helping them to actually pursue their STEM career dreams. We've also now started investing in AI literacy, awareness, and fluency programs to help students understand what is the application of AI in their STEM education as well as in their career paths of the future. But I want to focus more on what have we really learned. And I think that'll be an important piece to take away on your journey as you find new allies. The first part is that experiential learning has really been a cornerstone for us. So whether we're talking about tinkering workshops or other kinds of chip camps that we are running, by focusing on hands-on learning, we actually enable students to deliver critical thinking and problem-solving skills while also understanding what are the real-world applications of STEM concepts. We also do take an approach of learning from pilots and ensuring that our approach to scale is very, very calibrated. So we build learning at each iteration. So, for example, with UN Women in India, we're working with tertiary training institutions to actually ensure that we are providing pathways to employability through 21st century skills training. And the success of the pilot has led the local government to upscale the program with their own governmental funding. But the other critical thing, and I cannot say this often enough, is the significance of role models. We need to provide students from vulnerable populations with role models who reflect and mirror their own experiences. And we actively encourage volunteers from across Micron globally to engage with our target students group for this. But more importantly, I want to talk about why we joined Game Changers Coalition, because I think that's why we are all here. I think that by partnering with like-minded organizations, we can amplify our impact and inspire more young people to explore the exciting possibilities in the world of STEM. And we are supporting this program to be piloted in Malaysia. So really excited to bring it to the country. And the program is going to be focusing on creating pathways for young students to connect with STEM education and to shape the landscape of tech and the video game industries. And we really hope that this will provide students in Malaysia with 21st century skills and STEAM knowledge, which can help them become leaders of a more inclusive digital future. We are so excited to collaborate with you on this journey.
Thank you, Antara. And I have one more question. What superpowers do you think youth gain when they're exposed to STEAM programs during school education?
So I think that the answer for me is super simple, just from like the amazing students I've had the privilege of talking to. I think the superpower they gain is possibility. They actually begin to see themselves as learners, and not just as learners, but as creators, as innovators, as problem solvers. They discover the power to imagine new solutions, to build what doesn't yet exist, and to shape the future with confidence and creativity. STEAM doesn't just teach you skills, it actually unlocks mindsets. So for us, STEAM education is not just about learning how to code or build circuits. It does something far more profound. It actually helps students to connect the dots between knowledge and purpose, between creativity and real life impact. And we hope that it fuels curiosity, nurtures critical thinking, and gives youth the tools to tackle real world challenges in their communities and beyond. That's the superpower, believing that they can and knowing how to make it happen. At Micron, we have seen this time and time again. In every corner of the world where we support STEM programs, we see a mindset shift. Young people move from being passive recipients of information to active architects of the future. That's the superpower. And it's up to us, governments, companies, schools, communities, to make sure that every young person, especially those from underserved backgrounds, actually have access to this opportunity.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge with me, and I hope we can plant the seeds of real and lasting change. Together, we can make STEM skills not just accessible, but a key driving force to empowerment. And I will carry your insights with me as I continue this journey.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Antara. And I'm going to speak with Daniel from Sony Interactive Entertainment next. I think he could help me.
Hi, Nazim. It's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Daniel. Right now, I'm searching for allies who are helping young people, especially girls, to discover that having an important role in tech and video games is not only possible, but powerful. And can you tell me how you're supporting future creators and why joining forces with Game Changers Coalition helps make that vision real?
Of course, very happy to help. At Sony Interactive Entertainment, the makers of PlayStation, we believe in ensuring that women have a strong role in developing our games. But firstly, why is this important? Research shows that nearly half of gamers in the US and the EU are women, so it's key that their voice is heard. And I'd like to talk to you about two ways we support future creators. The first is by helping to educate the next generation of girls to develop video games. And the second is through support for women leaders already in the industry. Now, one great example of our education efforts is our long-standing partnership with an organization called Girls Make Games. We have been a proud partner of Girls Make Games for the past 7 years. Now, Girls Make Games is a brilliant organization that inspires young talent and provides resources to girls interested in the video games industry. They do this through workshops, game jams, and summer camps. Now, individual PlayStation studios, including Insomniac Games, Sucker Punch Productions, and Ben Studio, have hosted separate in-person workshops to inspire girls to see themselves in a gaming workspace. More recently, volunteers from PlayStation Studios have continued to support summer camps hosted by Girls Make Games, speaking about various topics on gaming creation, from programming to project managing to production, surface art, and more. Sony Interactive Entertainment has also contributed to the Girls Make Games Scholarship Fund, which provides college tuition support and career-specific experience to girls and young women aged between 18 and 24. We have supported 2 scholars in their education journey since the fund was announced. In addition, last year, 6 of our PlayStation studios supported a unique fundraising initiative in which developers, especially female ones, from participating studios signed some PlayStation 5 consoles, which were then raffled to support the scholarship fund through Girls Make Games hosted streaming events. We're also delighted to join forces with the Game Changers Coalition, alongside our partners at the Global Video Game Coalition and UNICEF. Now, we believe that the Game Changers Coalition is a great initiative to help girls around the world get into STEAM careers. This is because it combines financial support, training, and skills development to help girls succeed. We were very pleased with the early success of the program, which has laid a strong foundation for scaling its customized and girl-centered STEAM curriculum. Sony Interactive Entertainment looks forward to supporting the coalition going forward, including through upcoming game jams. The second thing I'd like to share is the support we provide to women once they have started their careers in the video games industry. And examples include mentoring programs, sponsorship programs, and our internal VP Plus Women Leadership Forum. We also have a dedicated employee network called Women at PlayStation, which is one of our biggest and oldest affinity groups. Women at PlayStation's core goal is to be the best place in the gaming and entertainment industry for women to thrive. It's focused on engaging women and allies, fostering connection and growth, and creating an environment that empowers women within Sony Interactive Entertainment. Employee networks like Women at PlayStation aim to create a sense of belonging for members, promote cultural awareness, amplify the voices of their community, and advise our business, including in product development. And we're always trying to find new ways to support women in the organization. For example, just this week, we announced the launch of Trailblaze, Women Who Lead, which is a new internal leadership event focused on mid and senior level professionals. The goal is to celebrate and develop women leaders through curated activities centered on growth, visibility, and community. Finally, I'd like to share something that we do on PlayStation Store to influence the narrative of what a hero looks like for our player community. Across our gaming ecosystem, we take pride in developing some of the most exciting women characters, narratives, and storylines. And so to highlight this, we've created a dedicated space on PlayStation Store called Amazing Heroines, where players can find a curated collection of games that feature lead women characters and storylines, like Aloy from the Horizon franchise. We think that it is important to create these types of collections to influence the image and perception of what a hero might look like for our diverse community. I hope this helps you, Nazim. Good luck with your journey.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, for sharing your thoughts with me. What our collaboration can lead to is more than a program. It represents hope and opportunity for all young people, and I will take this hope with me to my next journey, and let's continue pushing the boundaries so no young person is left out of this digital future. Bye.
Nazim, hello. I've been waiting for you. How's your journey going?
Jamie, I can't believe I've made it. It's my final journey in this quest, and I've been on a mission to equip young people around the world with the STEAM and digital skills. I know you have important insights to share with me. I've been wondering, how can the video game sector be more creative and community-driven? Could Game Changers Coalition help us achieve that?
Well, that's a great question. So I lead global social impact for electronic arts. And for EA, we're really guided by this simple but super powerful mission: inspire the world to play. And so at its core, we see play is all about possibility. It brings people together, it sparks creativity. Play opens doors, especially for young people. And we believe that play doesn't have to stop when the game ends. And that's why our social impact strategy is centered on creating these play-based experiences that are in, around, and beyond our games. So we're really about creating opportunities for youth to access and engage with and learn through play, whether they're picking up a controller, maybe coding their first game, or imagining new worlds with others. And collaborating with UNICEF, the Global Video Games Coalition, through the Game Changers Coalition, is just one of the ways that we're sort of putting this belief into action. So this coalition, it's about more than just teaching digital skills. It's really about helping young people, especially girls, really see themselves as creators in the tech and gaming space. So game design becomes this really cool and exciting gateway to STEAM learning, an unlock for essential creativity and communication, collaboration, critical thinking skills, all the things that we know that learners need for not just for what's now, but what's next, what's ahead. And we've seen just firsthand how powerful it is when a young girl starts designing her own game. She's not just learning to code, she's learning to tell her story. And when those voices, when they come into our industry, they inspire new ideas and they make games more reflective of the world that we all live in. So at EA, we know that great games are really shaped by our players. They're shaped by the communities that play them. And that's why we're focused on helping young people be both players and creators so they can help design the kind of games and stories and cultures that they want to see. And so our work in STEAM education is really about building a bridge between play and purpose. And so we're really just meeting youth where they are, whether it's online, on mobile, on the pitch. We're making STEAM learning accessible, something that feels really fun, exciting, and interesting. And through our platform, we are uniquely positioned to engage and empower young people with these educational experiences that are interactive and kind of like resonate with their interests. So it's really about meeting youth where they are, making learning accessible and engaging. So how do we get this done? Well, as you've heard already, we can't do it alone. It's all about partnership, right? So we work with partners to design these learning experiences that bring coding and game design and digital storing, bring it to life in classrooms and community spaces. So we really tap into the strengths and expertise of our studios and our franchise teams across EA and bring them into workshops and hackathons and coding clubs that really help young people envision and see themselves in this world in our industry. We work a lot with educators and partners to design creative computing workshops and other resources that really enable teachers to revamp how they engage students and how they teach a computer science curriculum. We support scholarships and career exploration programs to ensure that this isn't just a one-time experience. It's a pathway. It's a chance for students to move from classroom to career, from learning to earning. And for girls in particular, we know that early exposure and relatable role models, they make a huge difference. And that's why we back programs that spark interest through game development camps, storytelling competitions, and really just thinking about intentionally designing spaces that feel inclusive and welcoming. And for us, we at EA, we think it's not really just about access. Access is important, but it's also about belonging. So young people really want to be part of something. I mean, don't we all want to be part of something? We want to connect and create and contribute together. And this work that we're doing together with the Game Changers Coalition is really about showing them that there's a place for them in tech and games in shaping this digital world of tomorrow. And so by integrating these creative educational approaches, fostering community involvement, and leveraging partnerships in and through our industry, I think the Game Changers Coalition really serves as a model for how industry can drive transformational change. And so in the end, it's simple. We believe that when we equip young people with these next gen STEAM skills and tools and experiences and confidence to lead, we all win. The games get better, the communities get stronger, and the future becomes a more equitable place where everyone can play, learn, and thrive.
Thanks a lot, Jamie. That was really inspiring. What we're creating together shows that play could be a force for well-being, for creativity, and for connection. And I want to keep designing a world where every young person can lead, create, and thrive.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Again, Nazim, what a journey you have been on. Our hero has spoken to so many important leaders from the video games and tech industry, uniting them with one shared mission: support the realization of potential for all young people, build their digital and STEM skills, and make sure that they're included as leaders in our digital future. We're supporting young people to not just prepare for the jobs of tomorrow, but to feel confident, empowered, and in charge of their digital universe today. So we have traveled across mountains, forests, cities, canyons, meeting allies and friends. We've discussed what can be possible when a meaningful purpose meets resources, tools, tools and knowledge to enable success. Nazim's story is a game creator and a young woman leader is extraordinary and is one of many, many more. Around the world, young people are learning to code, design, and lead through creativity and collaboration, and through the medium of video games. I want to reiterate that UNICEF's Game Changers Coalition aims to reach 1 million people by the end of this year alone. We are grateful to our partners, including those in the private sector and the public sector, who have helped us on this journey. While this session is coming to a close, but the game is not over. If you're a young person, start your quest now. Join the online course, build something that only you can imagine and only you can build. And if you're a company or policymaker, become an ally. Join the Game Changers Coalition with your tools, your knowledge, your networks. Help us level up the future together. And thanks again for joining the quest.
Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the session. We're just going to all turn on our cameras and do a quick screenshot with all the speakers. Thank you all so much for joining us and for sharing with us your exciting initiatives. And of course, thank you for partnering with us. And right after this, I would love to open up the floor for questions for the audience. There is a Q&A button in center left of your screen. So send us your questions where we will gladly answer them. I see someone's asking in the chat already. How do we connect to become an ally? That's a great question. I'm gonna send it over to Umaima.
Thanks, Maya, and thanks for the question. It's very important for us to grow the coalition, both with additional countries and governments joining from the educational side of things, but also with companies and implementing partners, youth-led organizations that would like to continue spreading the curriculum and supporting the scale-up of the work that we're doing. So depending on which category you sit in, we can have discussions. We have a UNICEF page dedicated to Game Changers Coalition with contact information. You can contact any of us, myself, Gustavo, or Mariam, who are the core team of the Game Changers Coalition, and we can find a pathway, whether you're a government partner or private sector partner or youth-led organization who would like to see Game Changers Coalition become real in your community and in your country. So thank you so much for asking.
Thank you, Anjana. Any other questions from our audience?
In the meantime, I will ask a question to Umaima. Umaima, what's next for the Game Changers Coalition? What's waiting for us in the near future?
I think it's a great segue from the previous question, right? So you can contact us and join the coalition, and then we have a lot of things to bring to you and put it on the table this year. So as Bo has explained, our target for 2025 alone is to reach 1 million people. So we are on a good set to do that. And we have multiple activities that starts with, for example, we have an online class that is available on UNICEF Agora, which is the platform where UNICEF provides the training online. We have moved the curriculum that is 100 hours in person that we've been rolling out for 2 years now, from 100 hours in person to now 20 hours online. So the way to do that is that we wanted it to be accessible as possible to many countries, many people, many young people, boys and girls. But this specifically, we have a global event, which is a global game jam for girls creators designers, and they're young girls. So we're not calling on professionals. We're talking on adolescent girls who want to have a career in the video games industry, who would like to take the online class, or who would like to try if they're, if it's possible for them to create their own video game and see their story come to play. So we are organizing a global hackathon, so a global game jam, depending on what industry you stand in, you would say hackathon or game jam. And it's 40 days in August, culminating on September 19th. So if you know of, organizations who have an outreach to young people who would like to participate. We have 8 countries where we are present. We can also add the name of the countries where we're present in the chat so that it as a reminder, but you can also see the session if you want more details. So if you know of young people, young girls in these countries, that would be a good opportunity for them to test their skills and to learn more and to create their own video games. So an online class, a global game jam, and many other activities with our partners. So you heard today from Electronic Arts, Ubisoft, Micron, Sony, and ourselves at UNICEF, but there are many more partners who are willing to join this Game Changers Coalition movement. So stay tuned and you will hear more press releases and more activities from our end, and hopefully more exciting scale-up steps for us.
Thank you so much. We have an exciting question in the chat. Tim is asking if you could have one wish granted for this project, what would it be? And I'm going to check if any speakers would like to take on this question.
Oh, maybe Mariam, all of us should respond, right? Like, let's try to do a roundtable and respond to the question.
Yeah.
Shall I go, Mariam? I think like the wish for me would be just more partners to come in, because it's such a great coalition and it has such a wide-ranging impact. But it's only the sky's the limit. So the more people that come in and be partners with the program, the more young people we can get into STEAM careers. So my wish would be for more partners to come in, and then more help to be given.
Well, +1 to Daniel. I'll go for that wish too. But maybe another wish would be just, I think what the coalition has done about kind of taking that in-person experience and translating that to the new online course is really exciting, because it kind of just opens up more pathways in and just makes it more approachable, kind of more possible. So I'd love to see how the coalition can continue to push in that. So we just like create these entry points for more youth around the world to maybe kind of dip their toe into this world. Maybe they're nervous about it. Maybe they're unsure. They're just very unfamiliar, but they've got kind of that a little bit of passion that they want to tap into. It'd be great to have even more entry points for them to get started.
On my side, just +1s to everything that was shared. But what really struck me when we had all of those conversations was also the strength of the ambassadors network, such as Nazim. And so I think that seeing more and more of those faces and those of young girls who are trying to make a difference is also extremely inspiring and can definitely help with the role modeling. So in line with having even more partners and countries joining, having more and more of these ambassadors like Nazim to represent future hope as well and future careers, I think is extremely encouraging and powerful.
From my side, I hope my wish would be that maybe the Game Changers Coalition could actually reach and inspire girls who otherwise would not have ever thought of having STEM as a career. And there are many, the stats show it, that it's still overwhelmingly gender skewed, that they can actually see that STEM is not just one sort of pathway, but it actually is like a basic building block. So girls who would have never thought of taking this up and would have thought that it's a boys' world and I don't want to get into that, for them to actually to believe in themselves and to be a part of the future.
Thank you so much. Bo, do you want to say anything?
So yeah, mine's not as fantastic as everyone else. I agree with everybody else. I think when I think about my one wish, it's that when my daughter's old enough to start playing games and she starts to see those characters and those worlds, open up in front of her that I can say, well, if it wasn't for Game Changers Coalition, you wouldn't be playing these games. And then if the games god decides she gets so creative that now her younger brother will be playing games that are just as inspiring and designed by her. So yeah, that would be my wish.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Zim, do you have one?
Maybe I agree with all said, and one wish, I think that achieving all the goals, like empower more than 1 million young people with new digital skills by the end of 2025. And yeah, I think that that's the wish.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for sharing. And I hope all those wishes come true because we all wish for the same things. I see another interesting question in the chat. In what ways does Game Changers Coalition currently measure the program? Do you want me to take it on, Umaima?
Before you do, I just want to share a wish too, because you guys are so inspiring. I just want to say, wouldn't that be nice to have a second generation of Game Changers Coalition who would be hiring Game Changers Coalition participant? Like if Nazim becomes CEO of her own Game Changers Coalition company, that Nazim creates her studio and she starts hiring girls from the program. I think for me, that would be a wish that I would die for.
Amazing. Nazim, go ahead.
Actually, it's one of our goals to create our own game studio in the Kazakhstan, and of course hire another young people to create their own projects. And yes, actually that's our goal after finishing our own project.
Nice. In a few years at UN 2.0 week, we will talk about your amazing company, I'm sure. So there is a question about measuring impact. I can just quickly start by saying we have a monitoring and evaluation framework, and we capture different types of data and different types of information. Of course, we capture things like how many teachers have been trained by us. We do a training of trainers, how many girls and boys have been trained by the STEAM curriculum. But we also capture information, for example, like we ran a study also in Kazakhstan comparing the retention rates between coding classes that are used without a video game creation component and then the Game Changers curriculum. And we found that there is actually a 40% increase in the retention rate when you use video game creation as a way to teach digital skills. And we hypothesize that it's because it adds a layer of creativity and ownership over your own project that perhaps another type of learning program might not have. So we're very excited about this particular data point, but we also capture human interest stories. That's what we call them, but basically human stories of our participants and how their lives have changed and how they have been impacted by the program. So I will link a few of those articles as well into the chat. Thank you for a great question. Maima, if you want to add anything.
You said it all. I think what's really important also about this program is that it's a collective effort. So our partners also hold us accountable for the monitoring and evaluation. And in every agreement we have with Jamie, Raphael, Antara, and Daniel, those are things that are very important that we share with our partners. And it speaks to UNICEF capacity and expertise that we are capable of having this global reach, but also data that is backed up by evidence. So I think it's also very powerful that we can bring this to the table.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. This has been a great session. Really a huge thank you to Nazim, our hero, and all of our speakers, to Raphael, Danielle, Antara, and Jamie. Thank you so much for being valued partners. And Umayma and Bo, of course, thank you for everything that you do. So have a great evening and morning or afternoon, wherever in the time zone that you are. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mariam,
Thank you
for
very
all the effort. And
much.
thank you, Saman. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.